Hello everyone, my name is Dustin with Mars Hill Technology, and we're going to be finishing our series called Navigating the Digital Wild today. This is week 4 of 4 and our series finale. The topic for today's discussion is building your digital fortress. We're going to be focusing more on privacy and then a little bit on DNS today in today's lesson. We're going to be using tools called Brave Browser, DuckDuckGo, and then of course Quad9 for DNS traffic. If you missed our first 4 weeks or first 3 weeks, we talked a little bit about phishing, smishing, and cushing, how to protect against those, fake sites, SEO poisoning, the HTTPS padlock myth, the echo in the canopy, which was AI voice cloning, and deep fakes in today's day. And today we're going to be talking about building your fortress with those tools. Let's get started with the pangolin's armor. So the pangolin it doesn't run from its predators. It rolls into a ball of interlocking scales. No lion or leopard can penetrate it. This is not a reactive defense. It's an architectural defense. We're building yours today. Like I said, we're going to be looking at Brave Browser, DuckDuckGo, and then of course Quad9 at the very end. These are some quick details about all of these, but we're going to get a little more in depth here in a second about these. But Brave Browser, it blocks all trackers by default. There's no extensions needed. It's built-in ad blockers, and it blocks fingerprinting. DuckDuckGo has recently been on the news for marketing no AI. So they're combating Google's AI that's built in, Gemini, that's built into the search engine. Well, a lot of people, probably about 50%, it's almost split right now, are against. It's either you're for AI and the advancement of AI, or you're against AI. Well, DuckDuckGo comes with the non-use of AI. So that's one of their marketing things they're doing right now. They don't search your search history. There's no user profiles built, and there's no filter bubble. It's free, simple, and fast. It's just as easy as going to Google, but you could go to DuckDuckGo to do your search for content. Quad9 DNS. This is a free DNS provider that's nonprofit. It's a free nonprofit tool that you can use. Instead of going to 8.8.8.8, which is Google, or 1.1.1.1, which is Cloudflare, you can use this to go to DNS and route your traffic through DNS. We're going to talk a little bit about that here at the very end, but it blocks malicious domains. It's free once again and nonprofit. There's no data selling, and there's 19 threat intelligence partners that go into the defense of Quad9. So Brave Browser, we talked about that armor shell, and Brave Browser is exactly that. When you're navigating on the web, if you're using Chrome right now, typically you're signed into a Chrome profile and it's collecting all the data about your user in that browser state. The same goes for Edge, and even the same goes for Safari. They collect data about you. Well, Brave was engineered based off of Chrome with Chromium. You can think of Chromium as like an engine that Brave was built upon. Brave uses that engine to be able to power it, but it doesn't take the privacy part of it. So normally, like sites or browsers such as Chrome or Edge, they track all this stuff you do. So they'll send all this information, and if it's Chrome, they'll send it back to Google. Well, the great thing about Brave is it has these built-in tools that prevent this data from being transmitted or collected about you. Is it 100% foolproof? No, not like everything in the world, but this will pretty much sum up 70% of the major stuff that's going on with your privacy while you're navigating the web. A lot of third parties use trackers to track you through different website content, and this is a great way that Brave does to protect you. It keeps those trackers from happening. There's a really cool feature called a Brave Shield. We're going to talk about that here in a second, that kind of collects that data for you so you can see how websites are actually tracking you as you navigate. A lot of browsers also fingerprint you, so they can uniquely identify you from your browser settings, fonts, plugins, even without those cookies. So this is a really big thing that's happening today that a lot of people don't know, is they're making these huge companies like Adobe, Google, all these huge tech companies are collecting your data and using it for marketing purposes, and they're using it even if you're using privacy blocking extensions and things of that nature. They're using fingerprinting, which is basically the way you work and navigate on the web. They're collecting all that information and building a profile against you. So it's really hard to get away from these privacy marketing agencies these days. So So how does Brave help you? Well, it uses those Brave shields like we talked about. It blocks all the tracking, ads, fingerprints by default on every site. It's right out of the box as soon as you download it and you start it up. It's doing all that for you. You don't have to go in there and change any settings. You could do that in Chrome, and you could do that in Edge, and go through there and everything, but this is built upon privacy first versus utility or tools that integrate, which was like Gmail. If you're using Chrome, more than likely you have your Google account that's connected to it, and it's syncing all that data as you go and do things. So Brave kind of gets away from that part. Brave also loads faster than Chrome. So since you're not loading all these ads and getting these redirects and these links having to be able to load the content from other servers and other sites, you're not getting any of that fluff. So you load pages a lot faster because you're not loading any of that stuff. You can also import your Chrome bookmarks in one click. So you can follow a simple Google search, or you can use DuckDuckGo, which is what we're about to talk about, and get on DuckDuckGo and just say, hey, I want to set up Brave. I want to export my bookmarks from Chrome and import them into Brave, and I'll allow you to do that. So the migration from Chrome to Brave is very simple. It's built upon almost the same amount of tools and different things of that nature. So it's really privacy forward. You can also set up a sync chain, which is a really cool feature. So Google that once you get that going. And if you're using the browser on multiple devices, that allows you to sync all your bookmarks that you're saving on each site as you go and everything like that. So it's a really cool tool. If you get a chance and you're actually exploring in Brave, Brave has a AI tool in it. If you're for AI, you could use it or whatever, but it's a privacy-based AI, so it's not collecting your data like normal agencies. It might collect it, in a roundabout way, but it doesn't do personal information about you. So it's pretty cool to see that you can have an AI tool and it's free to use. A lot of these tools that are privacy-based, you either have to self-host them or you have to pay a lot of money and some API calls to be able to do that. So DuckDuckGo, if you haven't heard of DuckDuckGo, it's a great little search engine. It's not as precise as Google, because Google takes in a lot of consideration all the details about you and your browsing habits and things of that nature, so it's more privacy based, but it will get you basic information about things, so you have to be a little more precise when using DuckDuckGo. But every search on Google teaches Google more about you, your health concerns, political views, financial situations, your fears. DuckDuckGo searches returns that same result without storing any of this, so you leave no trail with your search. Doesn't keep your search history. Most of the stuff is filtered, so like when you go to Google and some of the information, it's all being filtered to you. DuckDuckGo just gives it to you in plain text right there. Boom, nothing fancy about it. Here's what you were looking for, and this is what, the best of my ability, I could give it to you. So it's pretty cool to do it. And it's easy to set up DuckDuckGo. You can go into that, if you're using that Brave or Chrome, you can go into settings, search engines, and then go to DuckDuckGo. Brave is about the same thing. It's Brave settings, search engine, DuckDuckGo. It's as simple as clicking a button to be able to be your default search engine when you're using it. You can also just go to DuckDuckGo.com, just like you would go to Google.com. You can just type that in and it'll automatically pop up for you. So start using that if you want a little more privacy with your searches. Quad9, this was kind of a little bit of a kind of a secret, I should say. It's not really a secret in the IT world, but for normal people navigating on the web, they don't really, no one really talks about this unless you're doing some deep research. Quad9, it's a free non-profit DNS server that you can connect to. It's a great way to not only protect your devices when you're navigating on the web and using DNS searches. It's a great way to protect that and also get the same source that you normally do. If you're not familiar with DNS, you can think of it as the internet's phone book. So it's something that you would go on and search for, because everything's actually connected by server. So you're actually connecting to IPs when you're up in your browser and you're connecting to different IPs. Well, the DNS is what allows you to actually look up something. So if you went to apple.com, Apple has its own IP address that you're actually connecting to. A DNS basically translates that into something that we can really see. Instead of typing in that IP and trying to remember a billion IP addresses, we can just type in apple.com and DNS will actually connect you to that site. Well, the scary thing about DNS is sometimes DNS get poisoned and you actually go to a malicious site. So this is what's good about Quad9. This allows you to, if you're going to a malicious site of some sort, it right before, when you type in that web address, you'll ask, go apple.com. Well, it will go through Quad9's their DNS server here, and it'll check against 19 threat databases in milliseconds. So it's going to check and just make sure that that's actually a legit link and it's not tied to any kind of malicious intent. And then if it's not on that block list, it's going to automatically connect you to that site. So it adds a little bit of protection here while navigating on the internet. If it was malicious, it would just block it. It would just block it, never load the page, and protect you. So there's a couple ways you can do this. I would recommend your router, because your router goes to every device on your network. So it's the easiest way to keep all your devices all on the same thing without having to do them one by one at a time. But if you want to try it out, you can do it on Windows or Mac. These are quick little changes that you can do here. You can go in your network options and then be able to change your DNS. And it's typically set for like Google. Like I said, Google's is 8.8.8.8.8, 4/8, but you just change that to 9.9.9.9. And that's a good way to do that. I always do a fallback server too. It usually gives you a primary and a secondary. In the IT world as well, there's a running joke about DNS. It's always DNS's fault when it comes to internet issues. Two things you do there is you set up a primary and a secondary when it comes to DNS, and that's the primary is what you normally use, but if the server is down for some reason, you would have a secondary that you could use. I typically recommend that you get two independent agencies. So if you use Google, you want Cloudflare as your backup, or vice versa, or if you're going to be doing Quad9 DNS, you could set that, and then Google as a backup. The important thing to do here is this one's not tracking you. Google or Cloudflare, I'm sure they're making some sort of money off of your internet traffic to know where people are going and what they're doing, so they can sell either security features or they can know a little bit about you. Quad9 set up for that whole entire instance. It's more privacy based, and it's protecting you as it goes through. It's a good non-profit DNS server that you can connect to. So we're going to kind of complete everything today. Is a really quick lesson. You can go way down the deep hole when it comes to privacy. You can go into OSINT. You can go into all kinds of different facets when it comes to privacy. But we talked about three major ones that you can use to kind of eliminate. I would say roughly around 70% of your privacy and data you can get eliminated from these things. The easiest things for the marketing agencies. Is it possible to eliminate all of your cookies and all the different privacy and things that have been leaked about you on the internet? It's almost impossible these days. There's no one on this earth that has 100% privacy when it comes to it. Either public records, social media accounts, marketing agencies that have your information, tracked cookies and stuff back in high school or back in the day of, when MySpace was going on. There's details out there somewhere on the web about you. So it's almost virtually impossible to do that. But these are really good tools that you can use to eliminate your browsing habits and things of that nature. So once again, you can download Brave. You can just go to their website, Brave. Use your search engine, use DuckDuckGo or your preferred search engine. Go on there and just type in Brave browser. You'll pop up. It'll show you Brave browser. You download it. Go ahead and install it, and that's all you have to do. Once it's installed, it'll pop up. You want to make it your default browser, so when you're navigating or opening HTML files of some sort, it's going to Brave. And then if you want to link in your Chrome accounts, you can download your bookmarks and do that and set up sync. So it's a really easy path. It doesn't take too long to do it, and it's a really good system. It got really popular with YouTube. Is the main reason that Brave's out there. It hit a lot of ads with YouTube, and I don't know if it's if it does it anymore as much, but because I use YouTube Premium, but I'm sure a lot of people still use that, and it blocks a lot of those ads that you see while you're navigating the internet. DuckDuckGo, once again, that's just a good search engine that's privacy forward when it comes to your searches. Quad9 DNS that protects you from those malicious domains, and it helps you keep those from happening before you even navigate to them. So it's a really good DNS system for you. It keeps you from getting those smishing redirect URLs, any kind of software download sites and everything of that nature. It's a really good tool to have. So if you can put all these together, it's a really good layer defense. In cybersecurity, they call it defense in depth. You want to have all these different tools to be able to have a good presence when it comes to navigating on the World Wide Web and everything you go, because it's getting harder and harder to do that. So today you can go and you can install a Brave browser. You can set your DuckDuckGo as a default search. You can set up your Quad9 DNS on your router or through computer settings. Remember, it's Quad9, so it's 4 nines here. And if you need that secondary DNS, here it is right here. You can put that in as well. Like I said, I usually choose a different total DNS system when it happens, but if you want to be straight Quad9, this is it. You can verify Quad9 is working. You can visit quad9.net/result, and then that'll allow you to test to see if your device is on Quad9 for DNS. It only takes a few seconds to do it, and if it shows green, you're good to go with that being working as your DNS server. So everything you built. So this is the Pangolin's full armor. We talked about that 3-second pause when we were talking about phishing, smishing, and cushing. When you're in your web page or on your email, and you're about to click a link, think about it first. Does this look a little suspicious to you? Should I click this? Hover over the link and see where it's going to navigate you to. If it's not something with a domain like google.com, and it's like google.first.com, that's a big indication that you shouldn't be linking to it. If you don't know, or if it's some sort of redirect or something like that, my advice is always do your own research and either go on your search engine and look for it, or you can not click it at all. So that's always an option for you. We talked about URL anatomy and checking, bookmarking like popular sites, so you don't have to keep trying to go on search engines and find it all the time, especially if it's very common. You want to look for that. Like I said, you want to look for that name right before the .com or .net or .gov or whatever. That's what you're looking for. You're not looking for subdomains, you're looking for the actual domain. So if you see something a little weird and it's ending Amazon.package.com, that's an indication that Amazon doesn't own that. That's package.com, for it. So that's a very suspicious thing you should look for when navigating. The family safe words, we talked about that with deepfakes. Something simple as potato or something whenever you're talking to your family members or whatever it might be for a safe word. That's if you're in an event that they can't verify you for some reason. So if you're in a jailhouse or something, which is the common one, hey, I'm in the jailhouse and I need help getting out or whatever, you could call the jailhouse and see if that person's actually be under arrest there, and they're going to verify for you. But in the rare occasion that you can't verify something and it does sound legit to you, use your family safe word. Once you use that safe word, don't keep using it. When you use it, change it. And don't change it until you use it. So don't be changing every 2 months, change it to a different word for secrecy or something like that. Do it something off the cuff, and then say, hey, hopefully like in a family one-on-one environment, like a family get-together, you can tell people what the word is. Or if you're remote, you can always do an encrypted channel, whether it be iPhone, which is end-to-end encryption, or using an app called Signal. You can use that to relay that safe word. That way someone can't take it and use it against you. So it's really good to have that safe word in check. For Brave plus DuckDuckGo plus Quad9, that allows you to protect yourself as you're navigating the web with privacy and also malicious content that you might stumble across. So I'll use all those and you'll have that full armor, and you'll be able to protect yourself from any kind of predator that might want to prey on you when it's coming to navigating that digital wild these days. So if you watched all 4, congratulations. Appreciate you joining us for all those weeks and following along with us and everything. So really appreciate that. If you ever need assistance with your home IT, we do remote support anywhere here in America. but we focus mainly on Western North Carolina. So if you're in Western North Carolina and need some help here, we're happy to help you and everything like that. We do all kinds of advanced technology, all the way down to really basic stuff for your computer and network needs. So appreciate you joining us, and we have a new series coming out the next 4 weeks. We're going to be talking more about defending kind of your home state with your router configurations and simple things you can do at home that makes a big impact. So thanks again. I hope you have a good rest of your week.